This video shows how to use PixelFilm Studio's Auto Tracker plugin to track 2D text to a moving object in Final Cut Pro. First, scrub through the timeline and figure out the point at which you want the text to begin. When you install Auto Tracker, it'll be in the text library, so open that, then scroll down. The 4K Digital Cinema option is for a wider aspect ratio. This video was shot in 4K at 16:9, so I'll choose this one. And then just drag the Auto Tracker tool down into the timeline, and then stretch the end point to the point at which the text will end. Click on the Auto Tracker clip in the timeline to highlight it, then drag the tracking box down onto the object that you want to track. In this case, I'm going to use the tail light of the truck. Try to pick something that's got some contrast. Adjust the corners of the tracking box to fit around the object that you're going to track. You can turn on Draw Track Data at this point or do it afterwards. Then click Track Forward. Keep an eye on the tracking box as it tracks. Make sure that the tracking box stays around the object that you're tracking. If it strays away from the object you're tracking, your track points will not work right and the text will not track correctly. If that happens, click Stop Track, then clear the track data, increase the search size, and try tracking again. Now the tracking is complete, turn off snapping, and then scrub through the clip. Make sure that the center point of the tracking box stays centered on the object that you tracked. The tracking looks good and it should work just fine. Overall scale defaults to 0, so just increase that with the slider to make the text appear. So right now the generic text is just centered on the tracking box. Go over to the inspector and make changes to the font and the text size and the position and all the other parameters. When you're changing the anchor points, you may need to use negative numbers to get the text to move in the direction you want it to. You can see the text tracks really well. It stays locked in the same position relative to the tail light as the camera moves a little bit. Now I'm going to apply a cross-dissolve transition to the clip. Now the next thing I'm going to do is track some text to the white truck that's moving in the background. And the steps are the same. Adjust the start point, then drag the tracking tool into the timeline. Put the tracking box where you want it. Adjust the size of the tracking box. Set the playhead at the beginning of the clip. Start the tracking sequence. Turn on the track data. Check the tracking points. Remember to increase overall scale to make the text appear. And here's the finished product.